9 hours in the air, diesel engines humming, a canard wing slicing through clouds. This isn't science fiction.
Tractor configuration, or we have the pusher configuration in our Velocity V-Twin.
Meet the DeltaHawk V-Twin, a canard-winged, diesel-powered marvel redefining ultralight endurance and efficiency in experimental aviation. And here's where it all begins. In 1984, Danny Marr had a vision. He founded Velocity Aircraft, not just to make another kit plane, but to rethink the way small aircraft could travel. The goal? Take the genius of Burt Rutan's Long EZ, a two-seat pusher-prop canard wonder, and turn it into something bigger, a four-seat cross-country cruiser that could actually carry people and their luggage comfortably for long trips. Rutan's designs, from the Varies to the Long EZ, were already groundbreaking. They showed that small, light aircraft could fly efficiently with canard wings and pusher props. But Marr wanted more. He wanted that magic of Rutan's genius scaled up, made practical, and ready for real-world pilots who needed range and versatility. The canard concept itself is rooted deep in aviation history. Think Saab 37 Viggen, that Swedish fighter jet pushing aerodynamics forward, or the US prototype XB-70 Valkyrie, stretching the limits of speed and stability. Even back to the Wright Flyer, the earliest pioneers realized that having the tail up front could work wonders for lift and control. Canards weren't just quirky. Back then, they were revolutionary. They challenged everything pilots thought they knew about stability, stall, and efficiency. And for a fun side note that almost feels too wild to be true, Velocity even dabbled in jet-powered builds for the Rocket Racing League. Yes, a racing league for rocket planes. That daring streak, the willingness to experiment beyond convention, is baked into the DNA of the DeltaHawk V-Twin you're about to see. And here's where it gets really interesting. The DeltaHawk V-Twin isn't your typical twin-engine plane. Right off the bat, the twin pusher props grab your attention, mounted close to the aircraft's centerline, sitting at the rear with the engines tucked behind the cabin. At first glance, it almost looks like a miniature Piaggio P180 Avanti, that sleek Italian twin turboprop, and that comparison isn't a coincidence. Both designs prioritize efficiency and clever aerodynamics over flashy speed. It's unusual, sure. Some pilots might blink at the layout and wonder if it's awkward or unstable, but every inch of it is purposeful. By pushing the props to the rear and keeping them near the centerline, the V-Twin minimizes asymmetric thrust issues, improves balance, and reduces noise in the cabin. The rear-mounted engines free up the fuselage, making room for a cozy, comfortable interior without sacrificing aerodynamics. This isn't a plane built to scream across the sky. It's built to fly far, fly efficiently, and do it safely, trading raw speed for endurance and economy. A philosophy that's rare in experimental aviation, but one that makes total sense once you understand the math and the airflow behind it. And now, the crown jewel. That little wing sitting up front, the canard. It's more than just a design quirk. A canard wing essentially puts the tail in front of the plane instead of the back, and that simple switch changes everything about lift, stall behavior, and efficiency. Here's how it works. When the plane slows too much or starts to stall, the canard wing loses lift first, naturally tipping the nose down. The result? A built-in stall prevention system that dramatically lowers the risk of a deep stall. It's like having a safety net designed into the aircraft, though make no mistake, it's not a substitute for knowing how to fly. Pilot skill is still crucial. Think of it as a nice layer of aerodynamic insurance. Some people compare it to a BRS parachute system in philosophy. Extra security, but not a replacement for judgment. And there's more. The canard keeps airflow laminar over the main wing and pusher props, boosting efficiency and fuel economy. It's one reason the V-Twin cruises far on relatively little fuel. Forget myths about the nose floating during landing. Experienced pilots describe approaches as smooth and predictable, with landings often coming out as buttery once you get the hang of it. The design isn't just functional. It rewards pilots who respect it, making long cross-country flights safer and more efficient than most conventional light twins you've seen. And this is where the DeltaHawk V-Twin really earns its stripes. By keeping both engines close to the centerline, the plane drastically reduces the classic twin-engine headaches. No violent VMC roll, no wild asymmetric thrust yaw trying to yank the nose sideways if one engine quits. In a single-engine scenario, that's the idea. You can keep flying. The design gives pilots confidence that a failure on one side won't turn a simple problem into a life-threatening emergency.
But it's almost done, and I know a lot of people have been waiting and waiting. We've had a great fan base, but we are here, first year type certified. We got our type certification from the FAA back on April 7th.
Compared to traditional twins, which often require constant vigilance and finesse to manage yaw in an engine-out situation, the V-Twin feels far more forgiving. Some even liken it to the safety record of diamond twins, which are famous for low fatal incident stats. The fuselage itself isn't just clever, it's tough. The fiberglass airframe has been tested to plus 6G, which is way beyond what most light aircraft ever see. That combination of smart geometry and strong, lightweight structure doesn't just improve performance. It actively protects the pilot and passengers. You're not just buying speed or range here, you're buying peace of mind in every takeoff and landing. Now let's talk about the heart of the V-Twin, the DeltaHawk diesel engines. Each engine cranks out 200 horsepower, enough to push this plane along at a comfortable 185 knots, while sipping only 5.5 gallons per hour per side. That's efficiency that almost feels like cheating. But the real magic is the fuel flexibility. Jet A, farm diesel, kerosene, even heavy fuels, you name it. This engine can run on it. That's not just convenient. It's a game changer for pilots flying in remote regions or overseas where avgas is scarce or outrageously expensive. Globally, this means fewer refueling worries and more practical long-range trips. Diesel engines are cheaper to operate than avgas, more reliable, and often longer-lasting under heavy use. Imagine a twin you can take across continents without fretting about finding the right fuel or burning a hole in your wallet. And in the context of general aviation's future, this kind of diesel twin could redefine what it means to be long-range, economical, and safe. You're not just flying a plane, you're riding a glimpse of how small aircraft might evolve in the next decade. And here's where the V-Twin's long-haul chops really shine. With a 100-gallon fuel capacity, this plane can stay in the air for a solid 9 hours, covering over 1,000 miles without breaking a sweat. That's real cross-country capability. Think early morning departures and touching down across state lines or even neighboring countries in a single push. Compared to most typical piston twins, which often max out at 4 to 5 hours, the V-Twin feels like a marathoner among sprinters. Endurance matters more than speed in a lot of scenarios. You could zip across the sky at 230 knots on turbo variants, but the real magic is being able to keep flying, far and efficiently, without constant fuel stops. Imagine remote regions, sparsely equipped airstrips, or long-distance adventure trips. That's where this aircraft proves its worth. For pilots who prioritize reliability and range over adrenaline, it's a dream. You're not racing clocks. You're choosing a plane that lets you explore farther, safer, and with confidence that fuel won't be the limiter on your journey. Now let's get into the numbers, because the V-Twin doesn't just promise, it delivers. Standard cruise sits at 180 knots, but turbocharged DeltaHawks can push over 230 knots, though Velocity never officially rated them past 200 knots. There's a curious contradiction there, but test pilots report it's very doable. The climb rate, a punchy 2,000 feet per minute, giving this pressurized strong departure performance even fully loaded. Speaking of load, the aircraft handles 1,000 plus pounds of useful weight, enough for 4 adults, luggage, and some gear. Takeoff and landing distances are flexible depending on runway quality. Velocity claims 1,500 feet, but pilots are far more comfortable with 2,000 feet, and a 3,000-foot strip is ideal for stress-free operations. Approaches come in around 100 knots, with touchdown between 80 and 85 knots. And yes, the V-Twin doesn't have flaps. That might sound intimidating at first, but pilots adapt quickly. The handling is precise, forgiving, and predictable. Concrete runways are best for repeated operations, but overall, this plane combines strong performance numbers with real-world practicality for cross-country flying, making it one of the most capable ultralight twins on the market today. Step inside the DeltaHawk V-Twin, and you immediately notice it's not your typical experimental kit plane. The cabin is surprisingly spacious, with comfort that rivals a Beechcraft Baron, giving 4 adults room to stretch without feeling cramped. For those going the extra mile, the XL5 model adds a rear bench, perfect for extra passengers or luggage, turning a small aircraft into a practical cross-country cruiser. Noise is a real consideration in light twins, but the pusher prop layout keeps engine sounds behind the cabin, making flights noticeably quieter. Optional door seals further dampen sound, though they are pressurized by pressure, and there's no desing system, so winter ops are limited. Control layout is thoughtful. Side sticks give both pilots full access, and either pilot can manage throttle and prop controls independently. Circuit breakers are tucked neatly under the center console, keeping everything clean but accessible. It's a cockpit built for real-world flying, not just looks, giving pilots confidence and passengers a comfortable, civilized ride even on long hops. One of the V-Twin's standout features is the kit build flexibility. Builders can install dual Garmin G3X displays paired with a Garmin 750, or go retro with earlier MGL avionics, depending on preference. The panel is fully customizable, so pilots can design layouts that fit their flying style perfectly. Velocity's philosophy is clear. The kit lets you make the plane yours, balancing safety, performance, and personal preference. It's not just a plane, it's a platform that adapts to your mission and imagination, from long cross-country flights to high-efficiency local hops. Let's talk numbers, because even the coolest plane has to make sense on paper. The DeltaHawk V-Twin kit starts around $152,000, up slightly from earlier builds that went for $148,000. That price covers the basic airframe and hardware, but engines, props, avionics, and interior upgrades are extra. Realistically, a fully equipped build lands around $350,000, though high-end, fully customized examples have surpassed $500,000, packed with dual Garmin G3XS, advanced autopilots, and every comfort option imaginable. Velocity offers a Builder Assist program at $500 per month, letting you use their facility and tools while assembling the plane, plus a V-Twin training course for $2,500. Optional, but highly recommended to get familiar with all the quirks of the aircraft. A word of caution: Buying a used Homebuilt can be tricky. Each build is unique, and not every previous owner maintains it to the same standard. Keep in mind, too, that this is an experimental aircraft, which comes with operational limits and pilot responsibilities you wouldn't face in certified twins. It's part of the adventure, but something every prospective owner should respect before signing on the dotted line. Here's the kicker. The DeltaHawk V-Twin isn't just a plane, it's a glimpse into the future of ultralight aviation. Trends are shifting away from raw speed toward efficiency, endurance, and practical performance. Diesel engines, global fuel flexibility, and long 9-hour missions make this plane a modern solution for pilots everywhere. Compared to turboprops, the mechanical systems are simpler, costs are lower, and the twin-engine layout is inherently safer, especially with centerline thrust and the stall-preventing canard. Sustainability is another huge factor. Benign liner, more widely available fuels, and flying efficiently align with the future of general aviation. Combine that with the experimental freedom Velocity offers, and the V-Twin becomes more than just a plane. It's an innovation platform pushing GA forward. Every flight showcases how smart design, thoughtful engineering, and practical efficiency can redefine what ultralights are capable of. 9 hours in the air, diesel engines humming, and the canard wing keeping everything safe. This is the DeltaHawk V-Twin. Could this be the blueprint for future ultralights? So, what's your take? Drop it in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more stories above the clouds.